Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. If I could ask you, please, just to take your seats. Thank you, and welcome to the 126th Annual Conference for the Society for Leather Technologists and Chemists. Thank you all to those that are attending both in person, but also we have a number of attendees online. I would also like to pass on my thanks to the sponsors for this event, simply because without them, it would be considerably more difficult to put on, particularly Royal, Smith & Zoon, TfL, Trumpler and Satra, all of whom have donated in order to help us deliver this event. As with many events, absolutely not possible without a core group or subcommittee, as we now call them, of people working away in the background. You've probably seen numerous members of the SLTC Council and Subcommittee scurrying around trying to sort this all out. I get to stand here and take all the glory for much of the work that's been done by people behind the scenes. So thank you to that subcommittee. Now, although we have moved out by and large from travel restrictions in the global community, something that we implemented at the SLTC was a hybrid format for this conference. And as I've already alluded to, we have decided to continue to do that. The simple reason for this is that it makes our conference much more accessible. And the evidence so far from attendees that attend virtually is that these are people who would never normally be able to attend this conference, in part because of the expense of traveling here and staying here. Now, I should do, and I'm going to keep this opening speech as short as I dare, but there is some housekeeping exercises that I should go through. I do not believe we're expecting a fire alarm, so if there is a fire alarm, please leave through the nearest exit, depending on where you are in the hotel. You'll see it very well labelled. In here, it's straight out of these doors at the back. Smoking, including vaping, is not permitted inside the building, so please make sure that you take yourselves outside to have a smoke. And the toilets, for those of you that aren't aware, are down just in that bar area where we had the coffee. So today, we have a really excellent lineup of speakers. Hopefully everybody's got an agenda in front of them. And I'm really looking forward to this. And I hope, fingers crossed, that all of the hard work that goes on in the background means we will all have a wonderful conference. So that's the opening speech. Now, yes, that's why you were waving the phone at me. Can I please just ensure that everybody has either switched their phone off or at the very least put it on silent, because I'm aware that some of you might be using it to take photos and things. It gives me great pleasure to also introduce the Wolstenholme Memorial Lecture and Professor Matthew Collins, who's delivering it. Now, some of you will know that I recently became a professor. Much to my annoyance, Matthew is a professor at 2 universities, not just one, and they are quite prestigious universities as well. He is the McDonald Professor in Paleoproteomics at the University of Cambridge and holds the Niels Bohr Professorship in the same subject at the University of Copenhagen. His research addresses the persistence of proteins in ancient samples, so hopefully you can see how it fits very nicely in with this particular conference. And he does so using a combination of approaches, which I hope he will introduce far better than I will, but one of them is protein mass spectrometry. He, in fact, on the topic of protein mass spectrometry, worked with a former PhD student, Dr. Mike Buckley, and developed something that is now known as ZOOMS or ZOOMS. I'm never too sure which it is, which is zoo archaeology by mass spectrometry. And he has rapidly come on to identify now, it rapidly identifies bone and other collagen-based materials through peptide mass fingerprinting. Now, this might seem very niche, but he does have over 26,000 citations on his papers. And that, I can assure you, is quite an astronomical number. So it's really not as niche as it might seem. I am really looking forward to this presentation, and so I would like to invite Professor Matthew Collins to come and give his talk entitled Parchment, a Millennium's Worth of Dated Untanned Hides.